Metro Police Department had received calls that we now know were swatting calls. Those calls came in as active aggressor. The first was at DuPont Manual, and the second was at Olmsted North. Immediately, our schools went into following their safety procedures. Those include heightening building security, letting students know to stay in place. We know that this caused a lot of stress for students, for families, for staff members, and that is something that we never want. We have mental health teams available at every single JCPS school, and we know that students and staff process situations like these differently. So those teams are available for any student who would like to talk. Families, you're welcome to reach out to your school if you think that your student needs a little extra support to talk through what happened today. I will say that our safety procedures went off as they were supposed to. There's a reason that we practice these. We never want to have to use these. We never want to have to heighten building security. We never want to think that there's an active aggressor in the school. Thankfully, today, there was no threat to our students. All JCPS students and staff are safe. We're appreciative of Louisville Metro Police Department. They did exactly what they were supposed to do. They ran to the area where they told that there was a situation, and they came in to protect our students and staff. We are so thankful for their partnership in this. But again, all JCPS students and staff are safe. This was a swatting call. These are calls that are going on throughout the region. We have heard that schools in Cincinnati, Evansville, Lexington are also dealing with this today. It's really a shame that anyone would do something like this. Not only does it cause trauma and stress for students, it's another distraction from the school day and another thing that's taking kids away from learning. So we are so thankful that every student and every staff member is safe, that our safety procedures worked, that our partnership with LMPD worked. And if you have any other questions, I don't have many other answers, but I can try.
Can you tell us how the calls came in? Were they all at once? How many schools?
That would be a question for LMPD. Those were received through LMPD.
Just on this, what about the metal detectors that has been talked about putting in schools? Where is that at?
Sure. So we are beginning implementation of those in some of our high schools now this week. Several of them have the machines ready, and we're going to start going live with those. So those are weapons detectors. What they will do is students, staff, visitors will walk through those weapons detectors every day, and they will be screened. And if there is an iPad, so that if something hits that someone thinks might be a weapon, they're taken to a secondary screening location, and then they go through the process. So that's another tool in our toolkit. Again, that is not something that means no weapon is ever going to be found in a Jefferson County public school. It is just another layer of safety added to our safety plan that we have. And again, today was an example of our students. Unfortunately, we live in a world where students and staff have to practice these safety routines, and they had done that, and so students and staff knew exactly what to do today.
Are the two schools that had swatting calls, are they still on heightened security?
Nope, everyone is back to normal. So school is back to normal. Everything is back to operations as usual. Now, again, of course, after a situation like that, I'm sure that a lot of kids are anxious and nervous. We do have some parents who are picking kids up today, and that's okay. We want kids to feel safe and secure in their building. And again, we're just thankful for LMPD's partnership with that.
Got it.
All right, your turn.
Top, what do you think?
Yeah, around.
Definitely once or twice.
Anybody want to swap for this one? Okay. All right. Ask us.
You try to move somewhere else.
Yeah, well.
I was trying to put one in each pocket.
Yeah. This one too. Sounds work. Well, that one's got a clip on it. Hold this one for somewhere. I'm running out of belt room here. Oops.
That's not mine. I'll hold it.
Oh, that's you. Thanks. Got it. Oops, that came off. Hold on. Yeah, we're probably gonna have to. Have phones, radios, everything. All right. So you have to get everybody getting sound. Everybody okay? Everybody hearing? Mason, you good?
Yep. Say and spell, please.
Yep.
Colonel Steve Healey, Deputy Chief, LMPD, Healey.
What can you tell us about what happened today?
First, we got a call to DuPont Manual High School. It came in as an individual, I believe, was claiming to be a victim on the second floor in an active shooter situation. LMPD responded to Manual High School. While we were in the process of responding to Manual High School and clearing that location, we got another phone call of an active aggressor at Olmsted North on Bellevue. Officers responded to that scene, cleared that location as well. We had reports that there were multiple swatting calls in the region here in Louisville, Lexington, Cincinnati, Evansville. Fortunately, that's what they were swatting calls, and this wasn't an actual active aggressor. However, LMPD is not going to compromise our response to these calls when they come in. I believe at Manual High School we were on scene within minutes, same way with Olmsted. As Jcps talked earlier, it's very traumatic for the children, the teachers in the school, and also the parents that as they hear these calls come in, not knowing what's going on at their child's school. It also takes up a huge amount of resources when we respond, because when we get active aggressor calls, like I said, we're not going to compromise our response. Even though we have reports of multiple swatting calls, we're still going to respond in force. And you are going to take away resources. You're going to put people in danger because we're going to respond code 3. So fortunately, like I said, these were swatting calls and wasn't an actual active aggressor. But we have to take these situations seriously. Once again, we are in a great support role for JCPS. We will respond whenever we get these calls and assist them in any way possible.
These calls came from the area, came from Louisville?
We are still investigating that because, like I said, there were multiple calls in multiple jurisdictions. So we have detectives that are looking into that.
These two schools that actually had the calls, did they have any kind of resource officer in the school that can actually be there, right there on the spot? Or
I'm unaware what security JCPS had in place. We are a support role for them.
What about if you do find whoever did this? What's the protocol as far as trying to charge them, or how's that work?
Well, it would depend on where they're located, their ages, different things. It can be across state lines. They're until we get further into the investigation, you don't really know.
Can you speak to the fact that you mentioned how it costs a lot of resources, but also swatting is illegal? Can you talk to that?
Yes, it is illegal. I mean, you're basically false report. It's almost like pulling a fire alarm inside of a school or a building or anything like that. And when you have a response like that, and you're taking resources away from other people that could be legitimate victims or in need of medical assistance or things like that, there's a multitude of things that you are affecting when you do that. So we will take the prosecution of this very seriously. Can
you speak to the amount of officers that responded to these calls?
I don't have those numbers with me, but I think you all have seen the video. We are going to respond in force, and they come from every division, every unit. I would venture to say there were probably 40 with me at Olmsted. So,
Carolyn mentioned that you trained for this. I mean, the schools trained for this.
Yes.
LMPD trains for this. Can you tell us how proud you are about the officers and their response and the wrap up today?
We've seen this in multiple actual active aggressor scenes here in Louisville. The officers here take this very seriously. We take our training very seriously. And when you see our response times are within minutes, those minutes save lives. And like I said, fortunately, these were swatting calls today, and it wasn't actually an active aggressor. But we are not going to compromise our response. So
we've also heard that the FBI is going to be taking the lead on this investigation. Can you confirm that?
I cannot confirm that.
Am I good? Whose is this? Is yours, Flynn? Oh, all right.
Thank you.
Pat, are we good?
Everybody good?
All right.
That's fine.
Anybody need cards that don't have them?
As you do. Cheers.